Alright, let's get started. Welcome everyone. I hope everyone's going well. Tonight we are jumping straight into it. Tonight we're continuing on from where we were last Monday. That one. Video feedback hasn't refreshed. There we go. Let's hit refresh on that page. So yeah, we're jumping straight into it. Well, let's jump over here. npm run watch. Cool. We've still got what we were working on last stream. I did do a push on Monday night, so yeah, I just did that from my laptop. So all this code should still be settled there. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. Let's just nick this and go localhost. I realized that I haven't actually started the server itself. Let's start that. Jump back over here. Let's hit refresh. Let's jump into here. All right. So it wasn't a requirement. It was actually the sprints we were doing. So we need to actually go and find a sprint. We only have one sprint in this particular case. It's this particular one. And then it was the add object wizard. So this is add object to sprint wizard. Could not find any applicables. That is a bug. It might be one of those cases where we've got the sorry and then we've got that on a different line, which is why I couldn't find it. So yeah, there we go. I don't know why I couldn't find it. Now, what I want to do is I want to minimize that. I'm going to shut that down for a moment. We've just got it on this particular page. Okay, so please select an object. Sorry, I couldn't find any applicable objects. I think that's showing when the object results length is 0 and the object model is null. All right. I'm just wondering if this is meant to be an OR statement. So if the object results length is 0, show, or if the object model is, hang on, no, that's a different place. So the object model. All right, for starters, that should be like that. We should be doing it like that because it could be a blank string. So we just gotta wait for it to compile. It doesn't take too long. We just hit refresh. I should need to do this. Sorry, I'm jumping from Mac to Linux and the shortcut keys. They always get me. So there we go. We fixed that issue. That's fine. And then when they pick a project, yeah, this is what we were going to do. The pagination sort of stuff with this. All right. So I'm going to bring that off to the left. We're going to figure out where we were last time. I'm going to delete all this stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a requirement item. It will pick out everything. It will all get everything from here. So if we have a look at the request, we send a requirement item, we send what it is, we get a response, and we get a bunch of requirement items through. We get requirement item number of pages and all that kind of fun stuff. Now, you can probably see what's the problem at the moment. This is a string. This ain't meant to be a string. So we're going to actually fix that right away. But first, we've just hit our first ad break on Twitch. For those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour. The idea being, well, to stop the pre-rolled ads. Don't worry about it. You guys should be getting any ads. And yeah, we do this so everyone doesn't miss out on any content. You get to see me and my cat Socks. Maybe Patty. You might see him in the background every now and then. So yeah, hopefully everyone's going well. I'm hoping to have this finished today. And then, yeah, All right, so I'm just getting distracted with the cube and so forth. All right. Done. All right. Where are we with the ads? We're about 30 seconds left. So yeah, hopefully it won't be too long. Sorry, I'm just gonna make sure I'm not leaving any unresolved questions on my phone. All right. Yep. Okay. All right. Sweet. At 9 seconds left, and then we can jump right back into it. So yeah, I've got to change shoulder face. I'm getting an X-ray hopefully tomorrow morning. If not, oh god. Anyway, welcome back everyone. So jumping back into it. So this is coming back as a string, which is not what we want. It should be an array of objects. So we know something in the back end isn't working how we want it to. So if we go back down here, I think it's down here where we're causing the issue. So I think it's probably this section here. So what I want to do, and Emerson, how are you? Hopefully you're going well. Hopefully it's not too early or late in the morning for you. So yeah. And Nocturnal, how have you been? I'm assuming you were on holiday or something. Or just really, really busy. Either or. Hopefully the former, because the former is a lot better. Alright, so I'm just trying that. Now I should just, yeah, we have to do it like this, just so we get everything back. I'm just changing that to project, and there we go, that was it. So I was just prematurely, what's the word? Encoding them, prematurely encoding them. So, yeah. So I'm going to bump that off to the right, and as you see, we've got all of that working out. I need to fix up that tick box, but we can, the checkbox, we can do that today. Had Friday and Monday off, so was either laying in or working on the backlog of stuff around the house. Oh, fair enough. That's good. Now that I've got my arm free, I'm starting to do that. So yeah, I need to borrow someone's lawnmower, and I've got a lawnmower, but it's one of those real lawnmowers. And the problem is, so I've got, not shopping, no, whoops. I like that one. Or like the orange one, and stuff like that. And the one problem is, long grass, it doesn't work. So, yeah, I need to borrow a lawnmower. Yeah, it's morning here, but I'm a nocturnal man. Oh, fair enough. I used to be very nocturnal. I do like my mornings now for some strange reason. Though I need to get back into waking up earlier in the morning. Alright, so we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. We just now need to render out the pagination sort of stuff and the search bar. So the idea being we only show X amount, but we add in the ability for the user to search. I'll need to see how and what happens when we actually select something. Because at the moment, these are tick boxes, so if we move this to the left, we'll open up the view stuff. That should be part of... Sorry. Should be part of the sprint information, if memory serves me correctly, and then the add object wizard, here it is. So in here, we'll have a model. So the object model is project, so that's connected to the project type, and then we want to actually tick some of these. Oh, how am I doing this? I'm gonna have to figure this out, how I did this originally. So, the idea being, Oh, there you go. It just wasn't updating in real time. So we've got the link model up there, and what I kind of want to do is, if we search for something else, let's say we tick this first project and we're like, oh, listen, I need to add in this. I can't find it here. I'm just going to search for it. And someone types in a couple of keywords, it brings it up and they tick it, and then they clear the search and then search for something else and tick that and so forth like that. We want to actually show the user we want to make sure that we keep those results. So when the user hits the add objects, it adds them in. And another thing which we want to do, let's say a user is unsure if let's say they tick project 1 and they search for something, and then they clear the search. When they come back here, project 1 we want ticked. And the reason being is that just confirms with the user, hey, we are actually saving this data for you. You can search for other stuff. Same with the pagination. If they move on to the second page and they tick something and they go back to the first page and they're like, oh wait, no, I need to untick that thing on page 2, they jump back to page 2, they can untick it, and yeah. So yeah, we just need to make sure all of that will work. Let's go back to the add object wizard. Let's scroll all the way up to the top and let's start adding in the pagination sort of stuff right now. So we've got the modal body, we've got all of that, we've got the row, we've got all of that. And then okay, I'm just trying to remind myself how I set this pagination sort of stuff up. So I've got the new link wizard on the right, and that's just for reference. This would be set all pages. So this is done after. This is done within the wizard result. So over here, we've got the wizard result. We've got the wizard result cards. So that will house all the cards, which we don't need to edit. So it'll be down here. And yeah, we did put that in the wizard results. The good news is we can just paste that in. Now we'll need the get classes. That's pretty easy to do. Yep. Yeah, that's really easy to do. All right. So we'll just need to get classes. I'm just moving this off to the right so we can all read this properly. So this is just nav bar. So pagination for the. Now in this sort of case, we actually want this for the sprint wizard. So right, add object to sprint wizard. New link sprint wizard. Easy done. So set pages is definitely greater than 1, because if it's 1, we're not going to render a 1 page in there. If it's nothing, something's gone wrong, we don't worry about this at all. All the data hasn't been updated and stuff like that, and it just takes that fraction of a second. Man, I keep dropping the cube, don't I? All right. Oh. So I'll need to get in the classes. We'll need a current page. And we'll need to change page. And that's how all of this will get wired up very, very quickly. So All right, let's deal with the get classes first. So that's actually going to be this particular code over here. And this is something where if we start using this over and over and over and over again, we might put it within one of the composables. Just because it's one of those things where you don't want to constantly reference this over and over and over again. Yeah, so this is just get classes. It will just bump into here like so. That will work a treat. So current page. I don't think we're setting it or anything like that. Let's actually have a look at the data. We don't actually have current page. So we'll need to actually set that up here. And by default, that's going to be a 1. Just because you'll always be on default current page 1. We'll also need to make sure that we set the current page to 1 again if we actually change the object. That's just something we've got to add a watch for. So this object model, notice how we change it. We've got the blank out the previous link model and then get all the new lists and stuff like that. Here we'll just default current page. Oh, thanks, socks. This dot current page equals 1. Yep, easy done. Even though we do pass through the destination page as 1, we still... Oh, we might not need that. Because what actually happens is we do this, and then we set the current page there. Yeah, we don't need it. Cool. And then we've got the set of pages. And let's see if that renders. No. Sorry, sometimes that actually happens. It's halfway through compiling and you just need a refresh. So if we go project... Oh, we're broken something. So change page is not a function. Yeah, we just need it now implement these particular functions. And it's pretty easy to do. So that will actually be this get object list. In which case, yeah. Actually, yeah, it'll just be that. We don't need to actually create any more functionality around this. This is functionality we can create up here. So when someone clicks on this, what we want to do is we want to do that. We also want to go this dot, it'll be the object model, and it should be just that. And that's, I think, it. Now, I don't know if this actually gets picked up in the stream or anything like that. You'll notice that it bounces up and down a little bit. So we're going to have a look at that right now. We've got a couple of solutions for it. I'm going to actually add on some throttling to actually show you what's happening. So if someone goes and clicks on page 20, we're actually clearing the data first, and then we're fetching the data. So you see something pop up then. I'm just going to go to the end page. I wonder if we hit the offline. So currently searching for potential object, and it doesn't clear all of this data out of there. Now, the way we solve this in the other place is we've added in something in there to show when data is loading. This is something that we've got to actually sort of go back in 0.32 and make standard with everything. The idea being is we've got to show the user, hey, we are actually fetching something. Just please wait. So yes. In this sort of case, what we want to do is, yeah, we want to actually clear all of these bits of data when we click on the next thing. So I'm going to change this. We're going to change this. So it's no longer going to hit this list. We're actually going to undo all of this. And we're going to scroll back up to where it was. So we're going to hit this change page still. We're going to create that functionality. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some DOM manipulations. And with the idea being is we'll set a current height as what it is. We'll search for the data, but we'll make sure that that box stays the same. That way it's not jittering up and down and stuff like that. And then if the results are smaller or bigger, it'll pop out. We will also have a look at implementing the sort of smoother resizing. So the idea being is if something, let's say you get more items or there's more descriptions in the items and it extends that modal and stuff like that, we'll have a look at improving that functionality so that it doesn't jut out like that. It just smoothly increases in size within a small amount of time, so it looks natural. All right, so we're gonna have change page. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Say hi. There you go, sweetie. You said hi. All right, so down here, we're gonna have change page. Destination page, which is what we want. There we go, Nocturnal's giving you treats, sweetie. All right, do I have treats in here? Yes, I do. Okay, give me a couple of seconds. For those on YouTube wondering what's happening, on Twitch we've got redeem rewards and stuff like that. One of them is you can give Socks treats. She knows exactly what's happening right now. I wonder if she'll go get in her bed. Oh, those ones are out. I'll be right back. In your bed. No. Okay, good girl. And for those on YouTube, yes, I did spend years and years and years trying to teach my cat how to get in her bed. It took a very long time. But she does it now. All right, so first thing we want to do is solidify the height of the object, and then the next thing is clear the data, and then fetch the data. Okay, easy done. How have we done this in the past? Well, what we've done is we've used a reference method. So if we actually go over here, let's just inspect this particular element. I'm going to shove this off to the left so you guys can actually see. So we've got the whole row, this particular one here. Inside we've got the wizard results, and then we've got the alert up at the top. So I'm just thinking This won't work if the alert's there, because the alert will cause it to buff out just a little bit. However, that being said, if we delete that and we've got that, I can have one of these be to the loading thing. Loading placeholders. So I can easily put that in there with no issue whatsoever. And I probably would, yeah, I'm going to prefer doing it like that. And then we just grab the height of this. There's also the other issue of that. I'll show you what I've done. Oh God, this is not what I wanted to do. Move to the right. I've just moved the, I'll get rid of those. I've just moved the navigation outside of the wizard. That way I've got full control over the wizard results and I can add the styling there. Alright. Cool. Hopefully that's all settled. I don't know, let's actually have a quick look, or yeah, they'll do. It's a good enough. Alright, so we're going to make a few minor tweaks, but it's not going to take too long to actually do. So first off, what we want to do is we want to close that div. We're all happy with that. This whole entire nav, I will do like that, and then 1 to 4, and I'll delete that div. That's perfectly fine. And then this particular thing we're no longer going to do, because we're going to put in the loading placeholders, and I think the loading placeholders will be a lot better. It is also something that we're going to have a look at when we do 0.32. There's going to be a little bit of, there's going to be a lot of restructuring, let's not lie. There's going to be a lot of restructuring where we're going to have a deep look at all of the UI UX sort of endpoints, because I know the UI UX of NearBeach isn't the best. So yeah, we're going to try and fix it. And I think it's a good moment to try and fix it too. So we've just moved that down. What we do to essentially get this here, so the wizard results, if you have a look at the wizard results, that's what we want to solidify the height to. So in our code we've got this. What we can do is, trying to remember what it is off the top of my head, it's VueJS reference. So with the template reference, yeah, you just do that, and then you can call it like that. Easy done. So we're going to do that. So we're going to go ref equals, and we're going to go wizard results. Done. We're happy with that. That's not going to be a problem. And then when the user changes the size, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to scroll up again. I do apologize. We're also going to go bind class equals style. I keep forgetting what the class name I called it. It was something like style something. Style height. Yep, we'll put that in right now. So that will belong in the data. That'll be style height, and it'll just be an empty string at the moment. Oh really? It had another incoming ad break. I can't believe it's been half an hour. All right, so the style at the moment will have nothing in it. When we go down to the method, the change page, what we want to do is, I believe it will, let's just do the console log. This $ref wizard result. We're just going to do that, and then we're also going to fetch the data at the same time. So this dot, this will be get object list. It'll be the this dot object model, and we're passing through the destination page. So we're at least updating the data. That's an easy step to put in. So yeah. And we're going to clear the data too at the same time, so it'll be this dot now object results. Oh, all right. I'm passing through. Oh no, I'm passing through the right thing. Object result equals nothing. So we're clearing the data. We've just got to set the wizard height. So, going back here, we're just going to refresh. Oh, hold on. I'm throttling. There we go. So, we're going to go add object wizard. I'm going to put the throttle back onto terrible. So, we've got this now. And then if we go number 2... All right, I'm gonna bump that off to the left. So as you see here, we've got the div class wizard. What I'm going to do, I'm going to store as a global variable. Easy done. And we've got no styles. I'm trying to remember how we do it. It's like inner height or something like that. I did it the other day. Offset height. No. All right, let's review what I've done quickly elsewhere. So change page, this page, get objects. We did it against search card. Where did I use it? This is the search card offset height. That's what I've got. Okay, let's jump back into here. Let's offset height. Okay, and let's just find out if that's it. It's a simple console log. I'm throttling. It's going to take forever to download 15 megabytes, let's just say that. Rightio. So we want to add object wizard. This jumps into here. Let's go project. It gets the data. We then change it. And then with the console log, we've got 746. So that's what we need to do. So we need to go this dot style height equals, and this would be just one of these. We're just going to go height and something pixels. It'll be this $refs wizard results dot offset height. And that should work. And it's something very, very simple to do. That way we don't have that constant type of stuff going on. All right, going over here, we've got to turn off the throttle. All right, because that's with it in debug mode, it is 11 megabytes, but when it's compressed, I think it gets down to 2 megabytes, something like that. Hopefully less for these particular pages. So we're going to go get our object wizard. We are going to throttle. I'm just going to go requirement item. I'm going to go new page. No. But it's also showing the currently searching stuff too. So going over here. Now the thing is, I don't think I update the style height. I don't change it back. So if we go inspect and we inspect the wizard results, am I actually setting it correctly? That's the other thing. Am I doing this correctly? Probably not. Let's find out. So I've got the style height. I'm just going to scroll up all the way up to the link wizard. I put it on the wrong thing, for starters. It should be on this one. And in fact, it should be, no, actually I want the diffs first, and then it goes to vines, and then, yeah, alright, cool. Alright, I've just got to wait a little while for it to compile. I am going to turn off throttling. It should have compiled by now. I'm just going to reload. We're going to go add object wizard. We're going to put on the throttling. We're going to put on that, and not quite. We're going to inspect the wizard results. I put class. How silly am I? Alright, there we go. It's been a long day. Rebind style, and then we got the style height, not the class. We don't need to worry about any of that. Alright. Going to turn off the throttling. Going to reload everything. We're going to turn back on the throttling. We're going to go add object wizard. We're just going to pick any one of those. Still not doing it. But if we have a look at that, we do have the height set there. We do have it set at pixels. And when we change it, oh, I think I know what's happening. Alright, this is a bit silly. So what's actually happening is, because of this if statement, the object results equals 0, it doesn't show anything, so everything just hides. We should also, I'm going to hijack that in a minute. Oh, I'm just wondering if we could get to the parent So what I mean by that is, let's say we got this. Let's go into here. Let's go wizard results. Actually, let's. I do apologize. I can't actually enlarge the console. That would be awesome if I could. Oh wait, I lied. I can now enlarge the console. So let's go var wizard results equals the document.get elements by class name, and we're going to pass through the wizard results. Now, in reality, we'll only have one, but this will be a collection. So what we want to do is we want to do something like that. So I'm just going to go single wizard result equals WR0, pass it through everything, and then I just type in something like that to do that. So if I go that, and I should go parent element. I then should, oh, that hurt then. What was it? Not out of HTML. It was no. Offset height. I could do that, and then I could set the offset height at the parent level and all that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I just need to move this up one step. Or one level, I should say. So both these two lines will disappear. It'll go up to here. We'll just add that into there, and we'll just paste that into at that level. Then everything should theoretically just work. All right, so I'm gonna bring in the object wizard. I'm going to start throttling. We're gonna change the project. All right. So when we change pages now, that actually happens. Now I'm zoomed in. This is what NearBeach would look like normally. All right, with a normal screen and stuff like that. I zoom in so everyone can read what's actually happening. So when someone clicks on this, it'll do that. Now, this isn't perfect at the moment because we don't actually have it resetting. So we'll do the reset now. The idea being is that'll reset, and I'll fix up these tick boxes because that's going to be annoying. And Blaze, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. And Nintzal, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. I'm assuming that means something. Sure, I don't know if I can answer it, but I'll try. Alright, I'm just going to zoom in for everyone again, and then we're going to reset that styling. So what happens with the styling is once we get the data, we just go, alright, cool, style nothing. That would be in here. So we've got the add objects. No, that's not it. It's the get object list. It's this one. So once we've got this, I think I have a cat meowing at me. Are you meowing at me? No. All right. This dot style height. It's just gonna be that. We'll just blank everything out. Easy done. You're new to coding and learning Python now. Do you recommend learning data structures and algorithms in Python? Yeah. The reason being is you'll find them very, very useful for when you're wanting to do stuff like, let's say, building a web page and stuff like that. You'll have a lot of different data which you want to actually sort of store in an object, so that way you can help render stuff out on the page and stuff like that. So yeah, my recommendation is you don't need to learn everything all at once. What you could do is you can learn little bits and pieces of it, trial it out, see if it solves your problems, and then as you go on and start, building stuff and so forth like that, you'll probably be like, oh, I should learn something else, or can I do this bit better? And that's when you start learning more and more and so forth like that. My other recommendation too is just build something. It doesn't have to be large. It can be something small that you can do in a couple of hours and so forth like that. And after several weeks building small little tiny projects, go back to those first projects, have a look and say, how can I build this better? Because that sort of reinforces that you've actually learned something and you can do stuff better. And Ninsel, it's Emerson from YouTube. Hi, welcome. So yeah. On Twitch we've got the emojis. You've got a couple of free cat emojis. You'll also have rewards for just watching and stuff like that. So, for example, make me curl with weights. So yeah, which I don't think I can do with my left arm just yet. I don't think my shoulder can hold that much weight, but I can actually take off all the weights and so forth. So yeah, welcome. All right, let's see if this worked. We'll take off the throttle because we don't need it throttling, and we'll add it on. Let's go add. So we're going to add in a project. We're just going to go down here. Perfect. And then when it is smaller, so this page is a lot smaller, I'll zoom out so this actually takes effect. So when we do that, notice how it increases and then it shrinks once we get the data back and so forth like that. So yeah, Blaze. So hopefully that's helpful for you, Blaze. But yeah, good luck learning. If you love problem solving and stuff like that, programming is awesome. I've also heard that Python is a bit slow and people recommend C++ for data structures, so I'm a bit stuck there with the languages. I'm going to... I like learning new languages and stuff like that, so I tend to try and use a different language every single project I do. The problem is I've been on NearBeach well over 8 years now, so I haven't done much. My recommendation is it can be very, very tricky learning 2 different programming languages at once, is to sort of just keep going with Python for the moment. And then when you're comfortable with Python, you're like, all right, cool, I'm happy with this programming language and stuff like that. And that's up to you. You're going to have that goalpost. You're going to have that line in the sand of when you actually cross it. It could be soon, it could be far. You could always start looking at learning another language. Now, you might be thinking, oh, but I've just learned this language. It was really, really hard and so complicated and stuff like that. I'm going to tell you some good news. So your first programming language you learn is always going to be the hardest. The second programming language, it's not going to be as hard. The third, I should do these in different colors. Sorry. So yeah, first language is going to be the hardest you'll ever learn. That's including Python. Let's say you learn C++ next. Sure, it's going to be somewhat hard. You're learning new syntax and stuff like that, but there's a lot of transferable knowledge from Python into C. Like, for example, you understand for loops, you'll understand functions and how they're called. You'll sort of get grasp of objects and so forth like that. And then the next language is just going to be easier, and it just gets really, really easy. So the difficulty drops, and it gets to a point where it's nothing. And that learning a new language just involves learning syntax and the strangenesses of that language. And every single language has a strangeness to it. So, yeah. So that's my recommendation. My recommendation is to get that to that point where you're like, okay, cool, I've learned Python, I'm pretty happy with Python. You know what, I'm probably going to be happy learning another language, and that's the time to jump in onto another language and learn it. And yeah, cheers. That's good to hear. Sometimes I ramble and I trip over myself and I get confused where I am, so I'm glad I didn't do that today. All right, so we've got this. Cheers, Blaze. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, we just did that. So I'm happy with how this is now sort of rendering. We've got it like that. I do apologize, this is zoomed out. So yeah, usually NearBeach is about this size, which is fine for a monitor. On stream, I understand it's very super tiny for everyone, hence I zoom in. All right, so the next step I want to do is add in a search feature in here, because sometimes when you're dealing with a lot of projects and tasks and stuff like that, it can get hard to find stuff. So having a search in here is going to be great. We've got to make sure that we don't lose the links. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can do that very quickly. So it's a good time when you learn from experienced people. Yeah. And also remember, I'm still learning. Yeah, there's stuff I'm learning every, like for example, UI, UX, I'm learning still. I'm terrible at it, absolutely terrible. Pretty much learning how to get better at programming constantly. Like I've always got my ear to the ground, learning new things and stuff like that. For example, there are languages out there like .NET that are evolving, and there's new stuff been added to it. Python is also that too. Python will have stuff added to it in the future. A good one would be switch statements, which have only just been added in 3.10, which is why we've got a bunch of if-else statements in NearBeach, because we're still supporting 3.9. So yeah, that, and also, yeah, some of my code could improve. There's also sometimes where I just build something and it just works, and then later on I learn, oh, there's a feature or a functionality of that language or that framework which I should have used and I didn't know about. So, man, always learning. Python is the most easiest to learn and use. It does have a little bit of a slight learning curve at the start, and that's actually to set up your virtual environment on your computer and stuff like that. So you do need to actually install stuff to get Python running on your computer. Yeah, my recommendation is to always use a virtual environment, and the reason being is that separates the libraries you're using from the operating system and any other project that you're sort of building with Python on the system. Yeah. Because the last thing you need to do is, let's say you have to use a particular version of Pandas, let's say it's a prior major version or something like that, that is incompatible with another project which is using the latest version. That's where you would set up your virtual environment and so forth like that. So there is a bit of that. However, that being said, nowadays, I'm going to use .NET as an example. You got .NET Playgrounds. So .NET Fiddle, I keep forgetting what it's called. So you can actually build a basic sort of .NET program in here. You've also got the same thing with Python. I forget which one I've used in the past. But yeah, you got something like this where you can actually run it in your browser, so you don't need to worry about that learning curve. You can just do it. And I have a meowing cat, and I don't know why she's meowing. Do you want up on the desk? I do believe a lot of languages have an online playground now. So yeah, you can jump in and actually just start programming like this. You don't need to install anything and stuff like that, which is also very useful for like .NET here. Nocturnal says Python is a good language to start with, lots of use cases and syntaxes. Yeah, fairly user friendly. So yeah, my sort of so I did maths at university. I actually graduated with a degree in maths, and we learnt C, MATLAB, and Maple. And a lot of that transferred into C++. But yeah, a lot of this transferable knowledge. So, yeah. I didn't learn Python until I think 2014. and then I use it to automate my job. First language was Pascal. I keep forgetting how old Pascal is. It's from the 70s, I want to say. I can't remember off the top of my head. And Carmen, how are you going? I can type. Oh yeah, 70s. Alright, I am too proud of myself for actually getting that right. But damn. Yeah, I've never used Pascal. Alright, so we've got this set up. Now what we need to do is we need to add in the placeholder stuff. So if we actually go into here, we've got something already. So we've got currently searching. So we've got the status in here. We can actually just remove a lot of this. And we should be able to. So that's placeholder below. I'm just gonna yank all of this out and just gonna do the good old, inline. I'm gonna paste it in, muck up a few things. I'm just gonna do this. All right, cool. It's perfect. It's beautiful. We're going to jump over here. We're going to wait for it to compile. We're going to refresh. I am going to zoom out, and the reason being is I want to see the whole thing, and that's all. I'm going to limit that down. I'm going to add this in. We're going to do new project. It's getting there. All right. We just need to get the box feel. Now, I have a feeling it's actually got to belong. Oh, I don't know if I can get away with this. I think I can. Actually, I might not be able to, because these are stacked. Might be. All right, no problem. What we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that. We're going to put in wizard results, easy done. And then inside we're going to do div class equal wizard results. We don't have a wrapper. It's just going to be card like that. And then that's going to be like that. And then we're going to paste it in like that. And then I'm glad the formatting worked then. And then we're just going to play around with a lot of that. If you believe that Pascal's stricter syntax was good for learning. Not that old. I just had an old school teacher. Fair enough. Yeah. Understandable. Understandable. Yeah, I remember why they taught us C. It's because essentially the maths we were doing needed a lot of calculations, and back then this is single-threaded sort of computers. We're talking like 2006. So stuff like Python or Java and so forth, that would be too slow to do these calculations, and we're talking massive calculations. Stuff like for numerical solutions of DEs, which would take 5 minutes to calculate sometimes. You would literally hit a button and get up and you walk away. Yeah, so they were like, C's faster. That's why we are teaching you guys, so you guys know it. Alright. I'm just going to hit refresh. Realize that I've got on throttling, and downloading 11 megabytes is not fun. We are going to add object wizard. We're going to go project. Ooh. Did everyone just see that then? Oh, I'm wondering if it's going to happen. Oh, look at that. Oh, I did it again. Oh. Not what we want. Not a problem. So, in this sort of case, we're going to set it up. Div class equals wizard results. It's card tech. We're going to add in nothing for the card tick. I do believe this will just hold that place. Div class equals wizard results. Card body, I do believe, is the one we want. And then we want to delete these 5. We're going to paste that in. We'll fix this up in a minute. So we're just going to remove the throttling. We're going to add in add object wizard. We're going to add back on the throttling. Or kind of getting there. Let's turn off the throttle. Let's turn on the offline. So this has just stopped working. We'll zoom in. We'll hit this. I can see that we've got 2 of those. And then the width is nothing. Later did vb.net. Oh, alright, that's, yeah. I'm glad I haven't had to touch VB in a very long time. I remember having to touch it briefly at one particular point. It's because there were access databases involved. And I'll leave that horror story as is. Now, I'm just double checking in here. I've probably got the class wrong. So we needed that class in there. And then that should work. All right, let's hit refresh. Let's add back in our throttling. So we're just going to add the object wizard. We're going to do the project. I'm going to turn off everything. We've got content, but yes. I'm just wondering if I change those to a P. Huh. All right, let's turn everything back on. I'm just going to refresh. And Deepak, how are you going? Are you going well? All right. Let's have a look at this. So we've got the card content. Ooh. You're also glad that you haven't used VB in a while. Fair enough. I refused to do my project in it and instead learnt PHP on my own to do it. No, fair enough. I didn't score that well on the project. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I had problems with message boxes. So you look up how to do a message box function. All right, this is it. This is the line that you would use and stuff like that. I've had that crash for no apparent reason. And the message box was a simple text message that never changed. Pop up. Yeah, that's... Oof, I remember those days and getting really, really frustrated with that. Yeah, Deep, how you go? Ooh, and we've just hit an ad break. There we go. All right, so for those on YouTube, we run ads on Twitch every half an hour. That's just to stop the pre-rolled ads, or pre-rolled ads. Don't worry about that. Yeah, you don't get ads. We do this so no one misses out on any content. And I just sit here talking to people and stuff like that. Yes. Yeah, it was really, really weird because I wouldn't change it or anything like that, and I rerun it and it'll be perfectly fine. And I'm like, there's nothing changed. This is a string. I've got a string, the part, like it's quite literally hard-coded string, and I don't know why it would crash. So yeah, it's. I don't like to trash programming languages, but that one comes close. So, all right. Hopefully everyone's going well. How long? About 25 seconds for the ads. I don't think I can solve the cube in time. That's, yeah. I need more music. I am looking at different, like the chill site. I'm looking at them. I've just got to double check everything, making sure I just got to cross the T's, dot the I's. Let's just say that. So I started reading all their stuff. All right. So when this gets changed, these aren't full width. So what I could do, I'm just going to do this as a cheat. I'm just seeing if it'll work. Because in reality, yeah, this should all be taking up that whole entire space, and I don't know why. But oh well, we'll find out. It might be because those spans have no size and all that kind of fun stuff that CSS throws at you, and you're like, oh yeah. All right, so I'm going to throttle. Okay, I'm going to now go offline. I'm going to hit that. And I'm going to start, not do that. I'm going to hit inspect. We're going to have a look at the, yeah. Do we just need a... Hang on, width, 100%. We just need that in there. Why it's not on... just done the Mac shortcuts for copy. Why it's not in there, let's find out. All right, so we're gonna go over here. Here it is. All right, cool, that's our problem. All right, now the one problem is I've just edited a SAS file. It's going to take forever to show up the front. So whilst it's doing that, I'm just going to do all that. I'm going to do that. So that should work. It should then come out kind of like that. We'll modify it to show how we want it to look. That won't take too long. We'll also make sure this doesn't affect anything that we've just done. So I am going to put back on the network. We're going to hit refresh. We're going to hope that the SAS and all that kind of stuff did get compiled in. We are going to go offline for a moment, and we're going to hit that, and there it is. There it is. Perfect. I love it. Let's jump straight into it. So what we've got is we've got a couple of spans, but notice how it's doing all that kind of fun stuff. This should be a display flex, but we don't want everything going out like that. Then what we need is a flex direction, and we want it in a column. Now it's bunched everything up, that's perfectly fine. The other alternative to this is, instead of doing all of that, what we could potentially do is an HTML. We could add breakpoints at the end of them, and that's perfectly fine. So one thing I do want to do is I probably want a really small one at the top. Okay, that was weird. really small one, and then we'll probably need a long one, and then not so long one. And then if we get rid of this, get rid of this. All right, I don't like the 12. I think that works. I think that works really, really well. All right, let's do that very, very quickly. That's just going in here. We're just going to get rid of that. Get rid of that. So we've got a 111.8. So 111.8. And for the top one, we just do. We need that. Yeah, pretty easy to do. Done. So that should now look like that when we're going through all of them. I also noticed that when we change the object up here, we'll actually need to clear out the links too. So we're going to do that very, very quickly. So in here with the watch, when the object model gets changed, we're changing the link model. Cool. Clear out data. This dot object results equals nothing. And I think everyone will be happy with that. That's looking nice. And then it should load in everything like that. All right, cool. Let's put this on throttling get. No throttling, sorry. Let's go add that. Let's bump it on slow-mo again. Perfect. All right. Oh, I didn't want to do that. What have I done there? Object options, object results. Thank you very much. All right, we'll no throttling. We'll wait just a couple of more seconds. We'll hit reload. There we go. We're going to add object wizard. We're going to throttle again. We're just going to go project. Boom, done. We won't need the tick box or anything like that in there. I think having it like that is perfectly fine. I understand that these don't look exactly like that, but they're good enough. I think it's one of those things where you're like, it's close enough to being how we want it. And we'll get something, we'll probably do something in the future to make this look a lot better. Both feel-wise and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. All right. I like that. If we do the no throttling, we go back out again. Now, our next thing that we want to do is if I tick, let's say those two, task 5 and task 6, I go to the next page and I, oh, wait. They are ticked. Sweet. And then I can tick a bunch of stuff, come back, and it'll work perfectly fine. All right, that is good news. And then when I send it, it should add all those objects in, and I'm like, yes. All right, that is what we want. Okay. So going back over here, we want to add in a search bar now. So one tiny little issue with searches is sometimes when you search for something in, let's say you type in socks. The issue is if we do a search every single time a user does a key press down, it's going to send 5 requests. Now, if the user is really, really fast, those 5 requests can happen pretty much straight one after the other, and you could have a race condition where, let's say the third character, the third request takes, for some strange reason, 505 milliseconds. That's a long time, let's just say that. But the 6th one takes 450 milliseconds, or something like that. So the user will get this one back first, and then they get this one back last. And then all of a sudden it'll get the data from the last one and override the stuff. And we don't want that. What we want to do is we want to add in a delay. So if the person starts typing, if they type within that delay, it resets the timer. If they don't type within that delay, it then sends the request. And the idea is this hits two birds with one stone. It sends less requests, and we don't have an issue with the race condition. Because users should be able to get that data back within half a second. Yeah. So we've got the search timeout here. So what we want to do, I'm trying to remember all the naming convention and stuff like that. We did have this in a composable at one particular point. However, it wasn't working how we wanted it to work. And it ended up sending out all the results anyway, just delayed by half a second, which was not ideal at all. So we've always had to do this within the object itself. When I say that, within the VueJS, within the one file itself. So we are going to find, I forget the name. Sorry, big yawn. It's like the search timeout. We do it elsewhere. So this is how we do it elsewhere. What we do is we have a search timeout. We make sure it doesn't equal blank. We set it as an empty string. If it isn't, we clear the timeout, and then we reset up the timeout again down here. So it's essentially this that we're doing. And we've got the search and we've got the loading. So in here, we just need, we've got the search model. This. We won't need the search, because it'll reference it off the model. Yeah, so going down here, what is this? This is just fetch. This is fetch options. All right. Okay, no, it'll be similar. It'll be similar. I'm just trying to think what we'll call it. Because we'll get the object list. That's what it'll be calling. We'll see what else I've called it somewhere else. All right, so we've got the clear timeout. That's fetch option. Oh, that's new customer. As you see, I've done this in a bunch of places. This is search model. Oh, it's done at the search model. That's actually probably better. Yeah, this is just going to save us a lot of code. So with the search model, we set the timeout. Otherwise, we wait, set timeout, and then we're just doing a different function there. Easy done. Not a problem. So we go with the add object wizards. We've got the object model there. We're just going to do that. We're just going to paste this in and be like, this is our search model. Now we've already got the variable search model in there. This is going to be perfectly fine. We're like, all right, cool. Here's the timeout. It's going to change that. It's just going to clear the timeout if the model length is greater than 3 or it equals 0. So, for example, if someone clears out the results, we want it to go back to the original start. However, if they're, let's say, 2 characters in, we're not doing anything This isn't worth it. In this sort of case, it isn't get scheduled object, it is get object list. Now there will be a new value passed through. That will be the this.object. Oh wait, is there a new object passed through? Yes, there is. And that will be this.object model. And we need destination page 1. So, yeah, we're just passing through the object model. I don't know why we're not looking that up. Oh, I think it's, yeah, I know why we're not looking it up. It's because if you notice above, we've got the object model. Sometimes it's not refreshed in time and we get issues if we change some models and stuff like that. So that's why we're passing it through. In this sort of case, it'll be solidified. It'll be, yeah, all right, cool. So we're doing refresh. We don't have throttling on. We actually don't have a search bar. Don't know why I refreshed. So the idea is this will pop up in here. So we'll actually have a search bar up here, very similar to how we have it in other different places. So if we actually have a look at scheduled objects, let's go into scheduled objects. I don't... Sorry, my planner, I think, also has it. There we go. We've got the search terms in here. So we'll actually be yanking this from here. It's the same fields. But yeah, you can... I can't even type today. Every father straight, yeah, and so forth like that. And it should be... Oh, this is a bug. We'll tackle this one next. How's that? Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually tackle that. That's disgustingly bad. So, going back into here, let's open up this. We'll add that in. Yeah, this is why I created the fixture with a lot of data in it too, to actually find these particular issues where we've got too much data showing on the page. This one would be new planner object wizard. It's quite literally, it's the same as that. We want to go all the way up to the top. So we've got the object wizard, we've got all of this. This will be the wizard results. And I'm just wondering if it goes in here. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna... I'm gonna put it in here. And then this should be not, it should be like that, if memory serves me correctly. It should also have the same if statement down here. So we're gonna bump that like that, and we're just gonna paste it in like that, and hope for the best. Now the search term model, that's just gonna be search model, easy done. This should, hopefully I've connected it all up. I don't know. Add object wizard, let's just pick a project and let's go in light. And I did connect it all the way up. Alright, cool. And then if you like take those and remove that, it'll reload everything, and then you go light again. And ooh, alright, so not quite what I wanted. We'll get rid of that. We definitely... definitely want to not show it when object model is not like that. All right, cool. This is just us playing around with it, seeing how it works, seeing how it feels. Let's go into this. We got the project. Cool. The search term comes up, and then if we type in something that doesn't appear, it still stays there. And then if we type in light, we can pick those two. We can then remove that. We can then see it pops up right there. We can jump to the last page and be like, yep, all right, cool. And then we add the objects and boom, they appear there. And we're like, sweet. Done. Easy done. So from here, what we've got to do is, I think that's it. As crazy as this sounds, I think everything just plugged up right then. We just don't have any more issues. So, one thing I do want to do is I'm going to zoom out. I am going to put on the throttling again. We are going to get rid of that search term. We're going to bump everything. Ooh. All right, we've got that. That is not going to be a problem. That's just us moving this elsewhere. So we just cut that and we'll just paste it and destroy all our code at the same time. So we'll paste it up there and do it like that. All right, cool. So that will be fine. And then when we search, all right, cool. Let's get rid of the throttling. So, all right, once again, got to stay zoomed out just for a little bit longer. We're going to add object wizard. We're going to, let's say, project. And let's throttle in. Let's search for something. So let's just do that. Now, I saw that then. We need to clear the results first. So, going in with the code. It might be one of those things where we go in and when we actually get the data, we're clearing the results instead of doing it out here. So I'm just going to remove that. So we've got object model, new model, clear the results. We're just going to go straight to that implementation. So do that, currently searching. We just paste that in, clear out the data. That should be fine there. We should also search for this.object results equals nothing. Make sure it isn't anywhere else. Where is that? Where is that? Where is that? Where is that? So when someone changes the destination page, yeah, we don't need that in there anymore. We're just making sure that we're clearing all the results. All right, so got to get the throttling off. Easy done. Hitting refresh. Going add object wizard. Let's put it back on the throttling. Let's go requirement items. So the search term pops up straight away. That's perfectly fine. There we go. Oh, it's no longer doing the height stuff. I've just realized that is also doing that, and I don't want it to do that. Okay. So I'm just solve this. So we fixed up a couple of things and then we just created an absolute disaster. All right, let's have a look at this. So if I go inspection and I have a look at this div class. In here, we've got a couple of items in here now. We've got 3. And the idea is, if let's turn off everything, I'm going to put on number 3. So we should be going to page number 3. I feel that that should be fixed height. What do you, Sylvie? Sorry, I'm reading the specs. Just the fact that this is now crashing up to the top. So, whereas before these were actually quite separated, it's just because I've now added that in and I'm just causing problems. So, having a look at this, we inspect this whole thing again. We've got the height. You know, there's a couple of solutions I can think of. We can't move that out of there because that will belong down there then. It's plausible, not a problem if it is down there. It just doesn't line up with any of the items. And Catalyst for your study, welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. Whereas if it's there, yeah, it lines up with everything. So that's not going to be a solution for us. The modal doesn't have a footer we can potentially use. So another solution would be to put this and this in their own in a div called wizard, and then add the height to the wizard. And that could work very, very quickly. I don't think we've got a class called wizard by itself anywhere else. Who knows? Let's just try it out. I think that would be the solution. So we've got 8 ref of that. Yep. All right, cool. I'm just going to go div class equals wizard. And we are going to delete that. We're going to go shift. We're going to scoot all the way down with the wizard results and stuff like that. And we're going to bump those up. I should have made a note of what line that was on. 1 to 2, just because it would have been easier just to get to it like that. All right, cool. So that's like that. So we've got a wizard one. We're going to delete that from there and place that into there. We're also going to modify that so it's like that. So everything gets combined up better. We're going to go over here. We are going to put back on our network. And we're going to hit refresh. Sorry that this is so zoomed out, everyone. I just want to have a look at it from essentially a bird's eye view. So when we do that, that's looking a lot better. We are getting a tiny bit of movement. And I think that's because we might be dealing with something that's adding padding or something. Let's actually have a look. So let's inspect whatever this is. We've got the wizard results and then we've got the wizard. We've got the search rows up here. Now that shouldn't be disappearing at any point. So we've got the wizard. Now that doesn't have any height, and I'm noticing that this is escaping. Which reminds me, I've got to double check all of that. So let's go input group. I might be, yeah, I think I'm missing that. All right, so going in here, we have think I've just got to do that. All right. Oh, sorry. I just realized that the ad break is on. I do apologize. Yeah, for those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour. On Twitch to stop pre-rolled ads. We just do this. So yeah, don't worry about it. You don't get ads. So yeah. All right. Hopefully everyone's going well tonight. We're about 30 seconds left of the ads, and then we'll jump back into it. But yeah, I reckon I've just done a little bit of... I've mucked up somewhere, and I've just got to fix it very, very quickly, and then we'll keep running. All right. So I'm just trying to solve the cube at the same time. It's 8 o'clock. All right, welcome back, everyone. Let's see if that works. So we're going to go back over here. We are going to make sure that we don't have throttling on, because that will take forever to load the page. We are going to add on the object wizard. We're going to add back on the throttling, and we are going to pick, like, let's say project now. Oh, okay. Let's. Yeah, that's the littlest, tiniest. All right, so it should be taking from wizard. All right, so when we change those values, something in here. It's always slightly down. Like it's missing 10 or something pixels. Like there's a margin or... It shouldn't be a margin or anything like that. That's the thing, it's not showing up there. And the search terms and that are still in there. Let's go to the front one. 1 and 3, are they all... One problem is that these are all different sizes because they got different text and stuff like that. Maybe fix the type, could be word wrap. Yeah, that should be grabbing the... Let's go offline. All right. For the network. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change page. But before I do that, what I want to do is go to console. We're going to delete all of this. We're going to go var w's for wizard equals document.get elements by class name. Is that correct? Have I? Must have been typing stuff wrong. We're going to do wizard in there. So we should have just one in there. We're just going to go w equals w, and we're going to grab the first one. He's done. And then I should go w dot, not, HTML. What is it? It's out, not out, outer. Fix the height of the results row, but I should be grabbing this whole entire wizard.div and saying, all right, cool, what's the height of this? Offset height. So at the moment it's saying the offset height is 822. And when I click on, let's say, another page, it's just changed it. If we inspect this wizard, we've got 822. Oh, I see it. All right, this is, I'll zoom in for this particular one because this is a bit. So when the wizard is like this, there's no margin or padding around the numbers, the pagination and stuff like that. So if I go back to throttle and I reload, and we open up this and we open up that, we scroll down, let's do just a quick one and jump on this. Notice how there's something there that isn't there when we've got the height. So if I do a style in here and I go height is 822 pixels and hit enter. That one's probably too large. I probably should have picked something a little bit smaller, but yeah, it pushes up right against it. And then this, and then if I get rid of this, yeah, it just adds in a gap there, but I don't know where that gap comes from. And I don't know how big that gap is. Don't know. This is a bit of a weird one. And once again, we could potentially put the height back onto this one. So if we go height 882 pixels on here, and then with this one, could we do a height 100%? I'm gonna have to zoom out for that. I mean, won't take me long to test that. I just have to delete these two lines, go back here, add this back in, and then I realize I've lost my spot. Yeah, alright, cool. Yeah, do that. Delete these two lines, paste that in, then style equals height 100%. We'll find out in a second. No throttling. Add object to wizard. All right, this is where we want to throttle. Go project. Oh, it does push everything out at the moment with the height 100%. But it does keep that like that. However, we should know the height of this. Yeah. I think I'm over engineering a lot of this, and it's getting really, really complicated. Perhaps fix the pop-up height. I think I figured out how I can do it. And yeah, I think I'm overdoing this. So I'm going to strip out quite a lot of this again. All right, that was 120 all the way up to the wizard results, yada yada yada, up to here. We're going to do like that. All right, cool. So we've got the style height in here. We want the style height like that. And then down here, what I want to do is we want to do another div. And then we want to trying to remember how far down I need to go. Oh yeah, there we go. And then I want to do a div class equals row, and then I want to do a div. Sorry, that should be normal div class col like that, and then we just end it like row like that, and then we do a div class equals col md8 here, and all of that should kind of line up. So I just got this on another row down here, and that should be fine. It's not the best solution. Still renders out fine. And it still works like that. Sweet. And now the search terms. We just need to program in the search terms to also do the height stuff. Which isn't hard to do. We can, it's just a call. So with the pagination, so we've got the change page. Essentially, this will now go out of here. It'll go into this. We'll do it like that. Easy done. So that sets the height. We're all happy with that. Now this now just becomes a useless function. So we're going to get rid of that because we can call the other function directly. We just go scrolling way past where we need to go. We're wanting to do that, so it'll be this dot get object list, and then it'll be this dot object model, and then all of that. That will be fine. We don't need the this out the front. That's not needed in the template section. Looks kind of squashed. I'll fix that up in a second. Yes, it does. That label does look squashed. I think once I get this sorted, fixing that is trivial, very trivial. So we need, I think we need it just in another div row. I've got the cache on. I've got the cache. I've got the throttling on. There we go. So if we go add object wizard, let's just put on the throttling. Okay, so that won't work every single time. That actually, oh. Okay, I might undo some of that code. Yeah, that looked horrible. All right, not a problem. This is why we test. So we're going to undo what I just did. We're going to put that back in there. That's perfectly fine. We can grab this line, and in the search, we just paste it in as something specific to do. Alternatively is when we're doing the initial search up here, we can actually set the height and do it like that, and we'll see how this goes. All right, so getting rid of the throttling, gonna hit refresh. We're going to open up the add objects wizard. We're going to put back on the throttling, and we're going to pick something like that. All right, cool. So pagination works perfectly fine. Sweet. The search terms, that works perfect. Yep. When we change that, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the page set when that actually happens. So when we change that, we'll do that, and then this dot set of pages equals nothing, so it'll be an empty array. The idea is it'll get rid of those pages because we won't have that data whatsoever. So hitting refresh on, let's go no throttling because that is a pain. We want to go and add that. We then want to add in that. We want, let's say, the project. So we're just testing what happens when we do that. Perfect. So we still want the search terms to appear there and all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah, we still want the search terms to appear there. Now, let's fix up the search terms. I think if we go back here, we've got the input groups like that. Am I missing a row or something? Because yeah, it's meant to look something a lot nicer. Let's just say that. Let's go and find out. So going back up here, we've got the div, if the object model equals nothing, yep. And then the import, if it doesn't equal nothing, then we've got the import group. We have a label. I'm just going to go over here. So we've got an input. I'll just go to the forms overview. We want something like this. So they've got a label for class form label. That's what we want. Easy done, just paste that in. And then the input should be form control. Yep, form control. We'll need the for. I don't think we set it here, so that's fine. All right. We're just gonna have no throttling. Oh, please, God, no. We've got the search terms, almost looking how we want it to. I'm gonna zoom in so everyone can see this. Oh, God, no. There we go. So we've got the search terms. I've just mucked up the classes. So that's just like that. Do we... We don't need this in a form. Oh, sorry. Almost there, and then it expands outside of where we want it to. And I think we just need the div class equals col 12. Oops, wrong button. I'm just keying this in very, very quickly, and then we just go in with the div, and then we just do something like that, and there we go. All right, sweet. So I've just got the classes wrong, and that's the problem. Then we go div class equals col 12. We'll just get rid of that. We just bump that in, and then we go to 75. We then add in our div, make sure it's all lined up, and we just do that. And now we wait for it to render. I'm gonna zoom only slightly and not the full way this time. We're gonna hit refresh. We're going to hit add object wizard. We're gonna hit project, that's done. And then that should look perfectly fine. I'm gonna zoom it out to make sure these are working how we want them. It does look like it's working how we want it. I'm happy with that. So yeah, this looks like this is now neat and tidy. I like this a lot better. We should have done this ages ago. So yeah, as you see, it's a bit of fiddly work to get things to work. However, that being said, when we review a lot of UI UX for the 0.32, what we'll actually do is we'll come through and we'll standardize a lot of this stuff. So we'll see if we can implement what we've done a lot better. Talking about learning things and so forth like that, we might go in and be like, all right, cool, we're going to do this instead, or yeah. All right, so I'm happy with that. Let's actually NearBeach track. Let's get our issue that we had to fix that and essentially call. Yeah, just say it's ready for retesting. I know I put down the number. All right, cool. Yep. Also, one other thing. Sorry, wait. Sorry, I saw an image before and I was like, oh yeah, I've got to get that. I think that will be also funny to bring up on stream. Who's the CSS developer? Of course, I can't spell. Saw this the other day. I think it's awesome. Oops. Using the Mac shortcut keys. There it goes. I thought that was pretty cool. I love it. It doesn't line up. You can see there's a little tiny gap between this and stuff like that. That clearly doesn't line up. That's not centered. CSS developer goes off and stuff like that. I think that is funny as hell. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm just organizing tonight. Alright. So, getting back into this. I opened up my phone to look at which ticket this was, because I actually noted what ticket this was and noted that I needed to get it done tonight, as well as several other things. It is ticket finished on stream 1483. There it is. All right. So we did that one. Okay, cool. So this one's all done. We're actually happy with it. We're going to copy this. We are going to go back over here. We're going to stop this. We're going to remove a static. We're going to git status. We haven't made too many changes. So add object wizard, yep. The view, we made changes with the backend. We made some changes with the URLs and the forms. Yes, we did all that. We're going to add all of that. We're going to commit and we're going to put in bug fix. We're going to paste. Oh, that's not what we wanted to paste. We're going to paste that in and we're going to do a git push. All right, so it got rejected. Git pull first. I think that all worked. I'm going to say, yeah, it did work. That orange text isn't so scary. No, it didn't all work. Cool. That's all pushed. So we can deploy that tonight if we really want to. Yeah, we can deploy tonight. What do we? Though it is just for one little tiny section. It is a very small release. Let's take a screenshot of this. I'm just going to say visible. I'm just going to copy. We're going to create a new bug. Over here, new issue. We're going to paste it in. My God, it's taking forever. So this doesn't usually take this long. I think something has gone wrong. Cancel upload. Alright, I'm just going to refresh. If it's not playing around, it's going to paste. Done. Alright, so my planner. New planner object wizard does not have pagination. Alright, cool. So we're going to go method 1, log into NearBeach to navigate the menu. It is schedule my planner. 3, click add an object to your schedule. Okay, expected results. The wizard will have pagination. Actual results, the wizard just renders everything. Alright, so this is not what we want. What we want to actually have is simple pagination. We're going to do pretty much exactly what we did with the other method. We've got to change the backend to enable pagination. We've also got to go through and make sure the front end does pagination and stuff like that. We will probably add in the ability to search on here too, so we'll essentially do everything we did with the last one on here, and I think this is probably one of the few places where we need one of the few places left where we need to actually add pagination into. So I do believe we've tackled it for most of the wizards. These particular wizards can't use just search, because in this sort of case, this particular ticket has to be, these particular objects have to be assigned to you. So it is actually going off to a special place to get that extra little bit of data, or make sure those conditions are forcefully sent through. Yeah. So you can't put anything on your planner if you're not assigned to it. It's purposely done like that. So this is just normal. This is type UI UX. Oh, let's just go planner. What? I don't have UI UX. Oh no, bug. In progress. Assign me, and this is the subsystem. UI UX. Alright, so I'm just going to create that. We're going to jump straight into it. I'm going to unstar it because I don't want the star. So going over here, we are going to move that one over there because I'm definitely going to reference it. We want to open up something on this side, so we need to open up the back end. So NearBeach views. And then we want to go into, I think, the planner views. Let's actually have a look where I'm actually hitting for the planner. So if I go into here, I am going to bump that off to the left so you guys can actually see what's happening. We're going to go into the network. We're just going to delete everything. We're just going to hit add object. We're going to delete everything there. We're just going to change this to Kanban card. It doesn't matter that we've got nothing back. This particular person isn't assigned any cards. That's fine. And also the other reason why all of these modals are slightly different is because they have different data on there. And we've just reached another ad break. All right. So, for those on YouTube, yeah, we run ads on Twitch. Don't worry about it. You don't get them. We do this so no one misses out on any content. The ads just stop pre-rolled ads, which suck. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully everyone's going well. I did hear a couple of zooted messages on my phone. I'm terribly sorry. I'm going to be a little bit rude at the moment. I am, trying to unlock my phone. I don't know why. I have a, there was no other, all right, cool, whatever. Wasn't a message. Yeah, so Hopefully everyone's going well. Yeah, with 0.32, we will be going through and trying to standardize a lot of the UI UX. We'll also probably go through and fix up a lot of it, and redesign some of it too. When it needs it. I'm terrible at UI and UX. I'm terrible at design, so yeah, I will definitely, hopefully get some help. So about 10 seconds left. All right, and welcome back everyone. So jump back into it. We've got the URL, so get object list. So my planet, get object list. I think that's just goes into one particular spot. Socks. That you've been standing on way too many things today. All right, we're going to go over into here. We're just going to open it up. We're just going to find it. We know that it is in the URLs. Here it is. User job views. That's what it is. And we're going to that. Speaking of which, I need to renew my server. Fair enough. All right, Socks, are you going to stand still or are you going to squirm? She's like, I'm going to squirm. All right. No cuddles, no forced cuddles. So here's the data. If the destination is not in a certain destination, we just send back being like, no, you can't assign anything else apart from these to yourself, which makes sense. All right, and that's just us getting object assignment, and this just goes through all of this. We've seen this a similar code to this. Essentially what we're doing is down at the bottom, we're converting it. We're also changing we don't have form data. No. And I'm just wondering if we could use a generic form. If we can use a generic form, that would be good. So this does a specific functionality. One, it makes sure that you haven't assigned anything on a particular day, but that's done at the front end. Oh yeah, that is done on the front end. All right, so what I mean by that is if we go to the front end, let's bump that off to the right. Let's go project, and let's say I add project 2, 5, 7, 8, 10 here. I've got to scroll all the way down to the bottom and save these changes. So those are on there now. If I go add object and I go back to project, Wednesday, oh, they're actually there when they shouldn't be. Oh no, it refreshes when I do something like that. All right, so I am just having a quick think. Now, the one problem is if we, let's say, select a day of the week or anything like that, and we're constantly sort of changing that, what could actually happen is if someone keeps changing the day of the week, we're going to send multiple calls, but it's guaranteed that we're not getting all the data. Now, the other thing is I could handle all the data on the front end in this sort of case, but there's a lot of data being sent. Very easy for us to actually handle this data on the front end. So what I mean by that is it will do the pagination at the start, on the front end. We get all the data through. I don't like that option. The reason why I don't like that option is because it will mean we're not being consistent everywhere. It means that we're doing it for this particular section, we're doing it in this particular method. For over there, it's a different method, and over there, it's yeah, we've just made up things along the way. I don't like that for that reason. Implementing the pagination is not that hard on the back end. We can send both the object selector and the select day to it, in which case we can filter out that data on the back end, and we're just sending data to the user being like, these are the options you can pick. Yeah, and then when the user adds those options and it closes the modal, we can then refresh for the get the, yeah, all right. So I have a couple of ideas in my head that we need to actually, well, a couple of things we need to do to solve this. So we need to send, let's have a look at the data. If I remove this and let's say I want to look at tasks. So in the tasks, you can see we've got this as part of the destination. So it's part of the URL. I would get rid of that straight off the bat. Get rid of that. I would have this all in a form so that the user can quickly do it. The other thing is we're not sending any data. We could be sending the object and the day itself, and the search terms. And I think that will be the solution to do it. Yeah, that's going to be the solution. All right, so let's change this. The first thing I would want to do is let's close all of these. We don't, actually we need the forms. We'll keep the forms open. We'll change the URLs. So the URL will get rid of the destination as we no longer need it. All right, so that's like that. Then with the forms, we want essentially a get object list. So my planner form, I think, is going to be, let's see what we've done so far. So we've also got to submit in here. So my planner update object list. So my planner update object list is a form. So if we actually go to that implementation, it's there. With this one, this is actually get object list. So it'll be my planner get object list form. That will actually be here. So class my planner get object list form, and it'll be a form. We'll get rid of whatever that was put in there. So what we'll need is we'll need a destination. Now, I think we use object type. This is 632. Yeah, we could do that. And then we can limit it down. So going up here, we'll go my planner object type. That is just going to be, we're going to, ooh. Hold on. Would be project project, task, and what do we already got in here? So project, it'll be Kanban card. Easy done. All right, we're going to bump those up like that. We're going to go 6.3. I think it'll be around there now. No. Wait, did I just edit something in the models? Oh, all right. No, we don't need this here. Sorry, I didn't realize we went to the models. I was not paying attention. All right, so we're going to go up. We've got a couple of things in here. So if we're going to go alphabetical order, it'll go up here. It'll paste it in here. We're only really referencing it here. This is where we need to go 6.4.3. There we go. So we've got the character field. We actually object type. We're going to do that, and then it'll be my planner object type. Easy done. So we're just limiting that to what we need. So the form will actually handle that that condition for us. So I'm just going to move that so it's right there. I'm also going to make sure that there's enough spaces between everything. So we've got the object type, which will be the destination, and then we'll need the day. So this is where I've got to look at the data. So open, not writer, data grip. All right. So this would be NearBeach local development. I didn't save my data source. This will be an SQLite file. SQLite, yep. We'll call it NearBeach. SQLite. And then we'll just go to the file itself. So NearBeach, sites NearBeach. And DB. Cool. Download the missing driver. That will only take a second. It should be SQLite. It should be really quick and easy. Taking a while. All right, cool. And apply. Okay. Let's open up NearBeach. So, got it. In here, we've got a bunch of tables. What we actually have in here is the NearBeach My Planner, and I forgot what it's called. I think it's user jobs. I think this is it. Jobs, and then you got the job date. Yes. All right, cool. So the job date itself, if I actually open up that in here, give me a couple of seconds. Sorry. Wow, this is so slow sometimes. Resize? Alright, it doesn't matter at the moment. I do apologize, this will be very, very small. Under NearBeach user jobs, we've got the job date, which is actually a date field. It's just a single date. We're going to filter for that in certain cases. So what we want to do is we want to send back the day, which if I have a look at the view, so So we've got the My Planner. We open up the My Planner. We've got the config profile. We've got the new Planner object wizard, which is that modal, which is off the screen for you guys. I do apologize at the moment. We've got the day model, which is that. And then if I change that, that updates. Yeah, all right, sweet. So we're going to send that back. That will, it's in an ISO format. That should be picked up easily. So in the back end, what we want to do is we want to copy this job date name. So job date equals forms.date field. It's just a date field. We also want to send back search. So that's going to be our character field. Max length is going to be 255. Required equals false. The date field required equals true. And the that should be required equals true. So that should be the form that we have that we're going to send back. Now, the next thing I need to do is in here, we're going to get rid of the destination because we're removing it from the URL. It's already removed from the URL. This will have to be a post. That will be handled easily by the form itself. We're going to go form equals my planner get object list form. I don't know if that added... Did it add it up to the top automatically without me asking? Sweet. So, if not form is valid, then we return bad response and stuff like that. We've done this code so many times. The next thing we've got to do is get out the destination. Because we're using it in multiple places, we're going to flat pack this out. So flat pack out the variables. So we'll have the object type equals that. We'll have the user job update node. It'll be the job date. What did I name it? It'll be the job date. Is that, and then it'll be the last one. Search equals form.clean search. All right, it'll be that. Sweet. So this all of a sudden becomes object type. And this will also become object type. So in this code, this is object assignment results, anything that the user has been assigned to. So the user has to, in this sort of case, is deleted files, object type is null. So for example, if we're looking at project, this project is null, all right, cool, and has been assigned to the user. And then what this does is it gets that particular object ID field and just changes it to object ID and it spits it out. So if the destination is a Kanban card, object assignment results equals the object assignment results.filter, Kanban card is archived is false. So we've got to make sure that is done. And that is actually going to be object type now. We want to be consistent with our naming conventions. And then what this does is this actually looks up the dictionary object, so dict planning objects. What we do is we go through it and we get our results. So the dict planning objects filter everything where the object type is in that object assignment results. So, yep, all right, cool. So it's making sure that we've got access to all of this and make sure nothing's closed. And it annotates everything, but we haven't put in, oh wait, we're excluding anything that is closed. Now, we can also exclude stuff that meet certain conditions. So one of those conditions is that particular object is already added on that particular day. So to do that, we've just got to get an exclusion set. So having a look at our data, We want to filter by job date, which is on the very, very right. I do apologize, you can't see it. I can do this though, and you guys will be able to see it now. So we've got job date, so we'll filter by that. The next thing we've got to filter by is that particular field. And we just got to send the user, that's just the exclusion stuff. So we can easily create that. So going up here, we'll have the get the exclusion list already assigned to the user. So exclude objects equals. Now this is where we need the job user job dot objects dot filter, and this is where we go is deleted as false. Job date equals job date. Got to make sure the user is, so the username ID. So the username ID equals request.user.id. I do believe, actually I think just username works. I don't need to do anything super complicated. So that should get everything, all the jobs for that particular day. We need to now state we're only looking at this particular field. So we're going to do the same as what we did above. So we're going to annotate the object ID equals, and it's the same as above. So we're just annotating the object ID and so forth like that into a field, and then we just need to get the values of object ID, and that's it. Then down here, when we're actually excluding all our objects, we just need to insert a new line. Now this is, we don't want this as an AND statement. We want this as an OR statement. So we're going to need to actually include the queues. So this is 270. If I go all the way up, I'm just going to make sure that we just need to do that. 270. We go down here. We are going to put in a queue. Tab that in, add a new line, and then we're doing an OR. And then what we're doing is anything that is object type of ID in, and then we're doing the exclude object IDs like that. And that should work. So I should make a note, exclude anything that is closed or in the exclude objects. All right, easy done. I am just making sure someone is on the way. Why is it saying I've got a message when I clearly don't have a message? That's weird. All right. So we've got all of that set up like that. Yeah, this is coming along really well. Very quick. Famous last words. So we just need the front end to hit that now. We need to do the pagination too. So we need the destination page. New destination. Oh no. How did we do it in the other way? Give me 2 seconds. Localhost. It's down because I've added that thing in and I haven't done anything with it. All right, let's just hit that. Let's hope for the best. All right, so we've got the find objects, just list all objects. I'm actually just having a quick look at the network tab. We're just going to go bang, and we're just going to look at this data because we're going to copy how we've done here. So we've got search, include close, destination page. All right, cool. That's what we're going to call it. Equals forms dot integer field required equals true. We definitely want this data coming through. We need to know what page we're on. Where's the meta socks? You're awfully quiet. Alright, so going with this, we've got all of that. We just need an extra space at the end of this. So we've got that. I'm going to search an array of objects. Now, in the search, we've got an array of objects. They'll search all of your arrays. In this sort of case, we've actually got object type because it's just a single one. And that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I think having that as a distinguishing feature would be better to do. The reason being is, at a glance, you can be like, oh, array of objects. Okay, cool. I can send multiple different objects to the backend, whereas it's like object type. It's like, oh, okay, it's singular. It's only one. All right, going over here. So we just need to do the pagination now. Don't need to do that, and this is where I keep forgetting how to do the pagination. Where am I? We want to do it the exact same way we did it with the other way, which was for the sprint search, which we moved around and we put over here, I think. Yeah, we're just doing this. So what we'll do is we just copy. It's gonna be easier to do it like that because it's gonna be the same. It's pretty much the same. Get rid of that. So the object lookup it'll be actually object type. We could change it to object lookup. But anyway, that doesn't matter. That will be just results. Destination page equals destination page, all of that sort of stuff. I don't think I've done it up here. We haven't filtered for search yet. So we'll probably need to do that down here. So, that will... And cranberry wine! Hi, how are you going? Welcome back. Hopefully you're going well. I'll need to do the search, so I'll just have that in my head for the moment. Search page sizes. I do know we can... I probably just need to import it. It's right there. So we'll go back here. That's nearly 300. We'll just paste that in under there. Add in 2 spaces. Oh, we'll need the Django. From Django dot. I think it's auth. No, not auth. Config import settings. There we go. I've actually got it. 300. So data results equals data results. We don't have data results. We just have got results. So we're just going to type in results. I'll tell you what. We can easily do this. Good working, and it was boring, so I'm here. Fair enough. Well, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. Oh, I just realized we are in an ad break, so I don't know if you're in an ad or not. Yeah. So I just looked up and saw ad break in progress. We're we're doing some progress today. So yeah, I don't think we'll get this feature out today. I think yeah, it's looking like it's a no. So yeah, but it'll be close. It's one of those things that I can two extra hours, and yeah, I can get that done. It'll be done. So yeah. Anyway, where are we with the ads? About 20 seconds left. So yeah. All right. Let's. We've got about 10 seconds left. Ooh, can I defeat the cube in time? I can. There we go. And welcome back, everyone. All right, cool. So going in here. I just was like, screw it, we'll have this as data results. We don't have object type, we'll have like that. We'll just, in fact, like that. We don't have math, that's a simple import. That just gets imported at the top. Destination page equals form.clean data. Yeah, it's going to be the same and stuff like that. This is one of those things where if this ends up being the same code every... no, we're moving this to the API. We'll most likely be moving this to the API. It will be useful. So for example, someone who... Let's say there's a tool that deals with planning and stuff like that. It will be definitely useful for having this. So I'm not too worried about this being here at the moment and being the same code. That's fine. All right, cool. So that should, in theory, just work. And then we just need to modify the front end to hit it. So I'm just going to move that to the right so you guys can see this now. I'm actually going to do that over here. There we go. So we just need to modify this now to hit the new endpoint. And with the new data and so forth like that. Oh, we didn't do the search terms. Shoot. All right, so the search terms might be a little bit harder to do because we've got a dictionary object that we're looking up. So the dict planning object, if we actually go to that implementation, we've got the Kanban card, we've got the objects. We do have title. All right, sweet. All right, and this should become a utility. Yeah, this should become a utility eventually. Actually, no, we won't need it as a utility in the future because what's actually going to happen is we are going to have a look at the database code and be like, all right, cool, titles are just going to be called titles and so forth like that. Then what will actually happen is a lot of this will no longer be needed. These are just workarounds at the moment. Once the database is sort of in a particular sort of structure, we'll be like, cool, that's the thing we need to get. All right, let's go back down to, I think, line 300 or something it was. So in here, we've got the object type, all of that, which we're happy with. And then what we want to do is we want to go F. This will be the dict object. Oh. All right, this is 275. I'm just gonna go up. So dict object, no. Oh, no, we just need title. Title, that's it. So that's gonna be title. And then outside of that, we'll do I contains. And then we'll have the search in there. So the idea is that the object type in that, we don't actually have Oh no, the dict objects. No, that's fine. And then title, and then I contains. That should work. Is that saying no? It's I contains because we want it to be insensitive to case. So if we go Django rm I contains, we actually go down to this and we go I contains. So yeah, it's like that. So yeah. So that will bring out the field of what it is. We do the I contains. We then got the search, and then that should be fine. Yeah, that should work. And then all of that should just plug in. Let's do the front end. So I'm going to minimize everything. We're going to open up NearBeach. We're going to open up NearBeach source somewhere. Did I? There we go. Source components. Then what I want is I think it's under users. No, it's somewhere in here. It's like my planner or something like that. There it is, my planner. Yay! What we want to do is the my planner object wizard. We're not going to worry about a lot of this tonight. We are just going to hit the endpoint and we're going to make sure it works. The next sort of steps is to sort of go through this code and change up a few things. So at the moment, I know that we're doing some shenanigans. So if we actually go over here to the My Planner and I'm going to move this off to the left, hopefully we can see the VueJS. Yes, we can. We'll see the My Planner, but if we open that up, open up the config and click on the Planner Object Wizard, you'll see that a date array gets passed down. I don't know if we're doing something somewhere else. We've got the Vuex bindings, we've got the provided, we've got the data. Yeah, we're doing object filtered results and stuff like that. So we're filtering object results depending on what's what and so forth like that. What will actually happen is we'll be simplifying a lot of this because the backend will do a lot of the heavy lifting to the point where if the user changes anything in here, it'll just research for stuff, send it back to the user and be like, all right, cool, these are the things you can pick. And this is pretty fast, this query. So what we want to do is we want to, off the bat, we still want the data array because that's actually calculated upstream. And yeah, you can recalculate it down here and stuff like that, but it's just a bit of data that passes down. It's fine. That's fine. Doesn't take long. We've got the map getters. All right, cool. So we've got the filtered link model. Object filtered results. All right, filtered link model. Filtered link model. All right, so that's that. Easy done. Then we've got the link array. Oh, I see what's happening here. All right, cool. Yeah, we've done a lot of stuff in this to make things not appear and stuff like that. I think we're ripping all of that out and we're simplifying this, which is going to be so much easier to do. It's going to be so much better. So a lot of the filter stuff is getting removed. So we'll remove that. We'll remove the filtered results because we want the object results. The object selector we're happy with. That's just hard coded in. That's fine. The link model, yeah, that's when we're actually ticking stuff. The list of days. What's the list of days? All right. so we take what the day array and we actually build it up like that. I mean, that's okay. I mean, in reality, we could be potentially, it depends how I've done that. Yeah, let's go back into the code. So list of days, that's fine. I think we build it up on mount. So if we scroll down to mount, yeah, we just build that up on mount. It's just a simple for loop of today and stuff like that. So okay. So what am I using this date array for? Oh, all right. Get filtered links. I'm going to say we won't need that. Get filtered link model and get filtered results. Oops. Oh God. I'm going to get rid of that code for the moment. Because yeah, this is get filtered results. This is just only return if there's no objects on. Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, so we did a lot of complicated things because we were only getting the data from the. We were getting all the data to the front end and doing a bunch of stuff. But now that I'm moving quite a lot of stuff to the back end, we've got a little bit more freedom. So I'm going to get rid of those there. Render object ID. So, oh, that's a simple, yeah, we need that. So save links. So this is where we get rid of the filtered sort of stuff. So we've got the link model. So the link model return if there's nothing to add. We don't add anything. Tell the user that we're updating, data to send, form data, do all of that. We want to get rid of this link model filtered stuff. So we're just doing that. That goes through each one, adds them on. We've got the day model. All right, so the day model. That's what I was also gonna check out. Shoot, sorry, get distracted. We want to search for the date array. So it's declared there, it's commented out, And then we do something there. And that's it. All right. I'm just commenting them out. We're definitely breaking everything in here at the moment. But that being said, we're breaking it and we're making the code a lot easier. We're no longer having to do a lot of stuff on the front end when we can refresh the data and get it from the back end. All right, so scrolling down, we've done that one. Save links. So it saves through the links. We go through everything like that. I do believe this will work as planned. Update date array. Ooh. Oh, that's sending it. Yeah, no, that's sending it to the proc above. That's perfectly fine. We also, at the same time, want to actually remove all the data. So, clear the object model, cool. So, the object model is That's the list of days. We don't. So that's the object model is task. So yeah, that should be cleared. So when that gets cleared, we should also be clearing the day and the object results. So this dot day model equals nothing, and this dot link model equals nothing, and this dot object results equals nothing. All right, so we're just clearing out everything we don't want sort of in the system after the user sort of plays around, submits something. It's essentially clearing all the forms. That's what we do. So we've done that, and then it closes the thing and it tells the user, hey, it's done successfully. That's the error. We've got the watch here that we no longer need. So the day model, the day has changed, update the, all right, so this is no longer what we want to do. What we want to do is this dot get. We need a method of actually getting our results, which we've got the add object. I don't see that data call in here. I see the data, like the object results, there it is. Here it is. It's changed on the object. All right. I'm going to change that. So this is the watch. The instant we change something, it does this. We don't want that anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out that. We don't no longer need that. This will be the day model. This will just disappear. So in here, we'll also have new value. So we'll make sure if new value equals nothing, just return. If nothing, do nothing. All right, easy done. And then it'll start clearing the data. So it'll clear the link model. That will be the link model. It'll also clear the results. So this dot object results equals nothing. Sweet, we're all happy with that. If the user has chosen an object, okay, then remove the object. We won't need to do anything. All right. There you go. So that actually almost finishes that, but yeah, I do realize that I need to do is searching equals false. I know that there was a bug in one place, and that's why I had to do all of that. So now the is searching is true. So yeah, that's the escape conditions where we don't need to do anything. So when we reset all the form, we don't want it then doing another search. We just go, all right, cool, just escape. It's fine. You'll be fine. We've got the link model. We're clearing we're clearing the results, and we're clearing what the user has picked. Oh, that's actually, I don't want to do that. The reason being is if the user ticks something, searches for something, and goes somewhere else and ticks something, then yes, we want to do it then. However, not at the moment. Now, I've just realized 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we need this one? I don't think so. We're just going to undo what I just did. I can't type. So we've got the day model, we need the object model. And in here, if the object has changed, we essentially want to do this. We still want to do that. But if it isn't blank and it has changed, we want then this .link model to change. So the only time we're actually making this change is if we're new value we want that to be null. All right, cool. So I'm just having a quick think that, what do we initialize object model as? So once we submit, object model is null. And we should do the same with the day. Be consistent. It's a powerful tool being consistent. So if the object model equals null, this searching is false, and we just return we don't do anything. We don't clear the list there. In this sort of case up here, what we're doing is with the new value, if either of those are null, we're not processing anything. We're just going to move on. So we go through object results, so we're not clearing if the user ticks anything. So if they do a search, which this will need to go into its own method because we'll actually have this search doing stuff too. So yes, I am just going to cheat and cut. All right, no one saw that. So that's the mounted. Up here, we want to get objects. Get object results. We're just going to paste that in right there. We're going to put that little thing there. All right, and then we've got to do that. Okay, that's in a better place now. I'm going to delete all of this code. Just delete it. Down here, we're also going to delete all of this. And when there is a new value, now, this is the fun task. We actually need to pass through the new value and the destination page. The reason being is sometimes with these watches and stuff like that, when we do something, it doesn't hydrate everything in time. So having the watch set up like this, where we're actually passing through the value itself, does actually help. Search term model, and then this will actually be also get object results. However, because there's a timer for this particular one, the particular value will definitely be hydrated, and then we're just passing through the this dot day model. Oh, yeah, we need the day model to pass through, and then the destination page 1 for that too. Now, if we scroll up, what we're going to have up here is the day model and the destination page. Like so. All right. That should actually belong in the watch. So yeah, that's just an escape condition for this particular case. For example, if we're pick nothing and so forth like that, it'll just run, it'll just escape out of there and not actually run this. And scrolling up, I'm just gonna delete that because we no longer need it. We don't need this. We don't need this. All right, so in this sort of case, we're going to clear the data. Yep. Teleform that we're searching. Yep. We're going to get the data that we need. However, we don't have anything where we're creating what the data we need. So what we'll need to do, we'll set everything like that, and then we'll set up data to send. So this will be a const data to send equals new form data. From here, what we can do, data to send dot set. This will be the, now this is where we have to remember what fields we're using. So we've got object type, job date, search, and destination page. So that will be a job, oh, hold up your horses. So job, object type, that will be this dot object model. Now that should be hydrated in this time because users won't be quick enough to actually select that and then move to the next one. And then it will be data to send dot set. This will be the job date. Double checking this. Job date with an E, and that will be the day. In fact, what we'll do, we'll call it job date in here. So up here, we'll just go job date, done. We'll understand that when that comes through. The next thing we need to do, data to send. Now it's becoming very late at night and my brain's deciding to slow down, and I keep search and destination page. So destination page, data to send, not destination page in this sort of case. This will be search, and it will be just called this dot search term model is done. So we're happy with that. Now this will be a post. It will also be data to send there, so that will actually go to the back end. All right. Now, when it comes back, what we'll actually have is the object results. We'll have, these will be a bit different now. So what this will actually be is we can copy all of this. We can just paste it in like that. We'll have to actually declare style height. So up here, and we'll deal with that very shortly. So we've got the object results. We don't have number of pages and we don't have current page. So we've got to actually set those up now. So we'll go current page, and that's going to be 1. Number of pages, element O. So number of pages, that's going to be 0 by default. When we actually get the data, it'll actually update and everyone will be happy. The current page was set, object results was set. So yeah, it is object results. Yep. Set of pages. That is another thing that we need to actually do. So that's set of pages. That's just going to be a simple array. And once again, we've got that composable. So we just key in certain bits of details into the composable, and the composable is like, oh yeah, this is what you need. So we're sending through the current page and the number of pages, and it's like, sweet, this is the data you need, here we go. Hey, can you suggest, oh, all right, cool. We just hit ads on Twitch. Hey, can you suggest me method to authenticate emails on my website through OTP? What do you mean? Method to authenticate emails on your website. One-time password. All right. Sorry, I'm terrible at acronyms and stuff like that. Method of authenticating email on the website through depends, honestly. So if we were at Laravel, one-time password, Django, one-time password, .NET, one-time password. All right, cool. All right, we're about 17 seconds left of ads. So my recommendation is, unless you're really interested in actually building it yourself, probably use the library or functionality that's already out there. And the reason being is anything around authentication is very tricky, and people like to break stuff. So they're going to look at your thing and break it. So depending what you're using, there's a lot of libraries. So if we go Laravel, I think I haven't used any of these before, but I've just looked up the framework and one-time password. So for example, Django has one-time password, where I do believe you can email a temporary password to the user. We do actually use Django OTP, but that's for two-factor authentication. .NET, one-time password, key to secure logins. Yeah, so my recommendation is, depending on your framework, look up that framework and then one-time password. So yeah, otherwise I've never made anything like that. I've always used the library just because I know I will break something and screw something up, and people will be able to bypass it really, really easily. So, All right, so we've got all of that. Searching is false. Searching term model. Now we're not going to clear out the searching term model because the user could type something in. We don't want it just suddenly disappearing. So we've now got data. Or we should get data in there. We do have a lot of stuff missing up here. So if we scroll all the way up to the top, what we want to do is we want to go from the top down and find anything that is missing. So where it starts rendering stuff out. That's all fine and dandy. Here we go. I think that's it. So I think we've ripped out quite a lot of the unnecessary stuff. So I'm going to pop that off to the right. I'm going to hit refresh. I'm going to pray that its stuff is going to work. Now that, by default, it's going to be on that. Oh, all right. Two things I want to change. I want to change this message and I want to make that 0 straight away. So the quick way to do is we're just going to go down here. We're going to remove the fact that we can default it. We still need this construction down here. That's easy. And then the next thing we want to do, select an appropriate day for this object. We're going to see what the message happens. What happens to that message? So it's like, please select the object type. Oh, it does it automatically. All right. What if I do it as null? So this dot day model equals null. I will hope that works. You know why it didn't work? Because I wasn't building it. All right. Oops. Let's delete those. Get rid of that. That should not take so long. Now it's almost 10 o'clock here. I'm going to finish on time today instead of going overtime, or try to. So yeah. Cool. Mine is there. Do you want to pick up me? Not hungry. Can't believe that was 30 minutes ago. All right, that should be all done. Going back into here, we're just going to go into my planner. We're going to refresh. We're going to add objects. So we've got nothing in here. So please select object type. So we're going to select a. Sorry, it looks like there are no Kanban cards assigned to you. Only candidate. All right, not a problem yet. All right. I'm probably going to change that message. Definitely going to change that message. What we need to do is we need to do that. And things are broken. Not a problem. But let's fix up the little tiny things in the front end. We've got 404. Oh, I haven't... Give me 2 seconds. This is a quick one. This is getting rid of this code right now. Cool. So that will fix up that problem. Scrolling all the way up, where we've got the please select object type. Oh, hang on. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry. All right, sorry about that. So what it's please select object type. I'm just going to find it. All right, I'm just going to find type. Please select the object type. Please, I've got that wrong. So in this sort of case, it is searching object model equals null, and then we're going to go day model equals null in there too to show it all up. So if sorry, it currently looks like there's no object. So if object results equals length and that, and then this is where we need to edit this one too. I've done that on the wrong key. We need an and then we need the day model does not equal null. That will fix that issue there. And then we've got the search results. So we're going to hit refresh now. We're going to have add object. We're going to pick a Kanban card. That's still showing when, oh, all right, no, I know the bug here. This is a very, very simple one. We've got the object model, but we've got the day model equals nothing. And we're going to null that out and be like, all right, cool, this is null. Now we wait. I'm gonna hit refresh. We're going to go Kanban card, Wednesday, and it gets data. All right, so we've got data. We're going to go project. Oh, sorry, it looks like there's no... All right, do I need to... All right, that's... We're getting no data from the back end. Okay, so I need to think what's going wrong here. So part of this is all working. It's getting there. We'll just need to add in the pagination at the bottom, which is just a simple row. We'll copy what we did on the other one and put that in right away. So that will be essentially this to here. We'll do a copy. What we want to do is we want to do it at the end of the row. I've just lost the row. Oh, all right, there's the row. So we're going to do an O, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do that. And yeah, I know the physio's on tomorrow. We need to get classes. I need to put these in a composable. The reason being is it's just code in one spot. And I think what it does is it just adds the method on here. I think it might be able to access the variables in that object. Possibly. I'm not sure about that. We'll need the change page. But in this sort of case, we're not going to do that like that. We will need the change page for the set height and stuff like that. All right. I know that. So change page index. All right, that will be destination page. Destination page. All right, cool. What we want to do is in here we'll set the height. Set the height, style height, and then this dot get object results. We'll pass through this dot object model and the day model and the destination page. All right, that will be get data. Easy done. So the pagination stuff should just work because we're plugging and playing it in. Once again, we'll see if we can make smaller components of these and if that's actually plausible. Because a lot of this is the same stuff over and over and over and over again. And yeah, we just need to sort of see. Yeah, we just need to see what we could do to make this code a lot nicer, a lot neater, and a lot smarter. Okay, so going back here, we now need to deal with the back end. So with the back end, is it because the results are 0? And that might be because of this. Now, the exclude objects. That should be for specific days and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move it to the next day. We've got a breakpoint there with, oh God, what just happened then? I don't know. Is my stream still running? I think so. I'm guessing so. Yeah, it's still running. All right, cool. So we've reached here. I'm going to have a quick look at this. This is a query set of 0. This should be, yep. All right, cool. So I think it might be this one line. So I'm going to do that. We're going to hit play. We're just going to test this out. So yeah, I think the search itself is probably causing this issue. I'm just going to hit refresh until it comes back. Sweet. We've got this. We've got the Kanban card. We've got the day. It sends stuff off. We've got the breakpoint there. Query set still 0. All right. So what I'm going to do, because this is with Kanban card ID. All right, sorry, let's try project. let's just hit refresh. All right, we're gonna go project. All right, so it's here. And it has data results now. All right, cool. And what I think happened is we're trying to use the dict object title. So what I'm going to put in here is I'm going to put in a friendly version called title equals dict object title. I don't know if that's going to work. And we're going to see what that comes out with. And then we're going to try and plug it into here. So I'm just going to hit refresh. We're going to add object. We're going to go project. We're going to go Tuesday. We should bump over into here. So we've got it as project name. And let's jump over here. Let's open up a new thing. We'll go source, VM bin activate, and then we're going to go Python 3 manage shell. We're just going to go from NearBeach .models import everything. We're just going to go a equals project dot objects dot filter, and we're just going to go project title like. Oh, I contain, sorry. The letter L. Cannot resolve keyword, project title, into field choices are, all of that. Project name, did I get that wrong? Yeah, oh, yeah, I got that wrong. Sorry, project name. And A should be a query set like that. If I remove that, that's a big query set. So I'll show what I did. So it's a blank sort of set, so it still picks up everything. So if I hard code this, actually, no, let's do this again. So open up that F. What we have is title underscore underscore I contains. Double check that it's underscore underscore I contains. Yep. And then it should be that and then search. In theory, that should work. Let's hit refresh. So we've got my object. We're going to go project. We're going to go, let's pick tomorrow. It didn't hit my breakpoint. Hello? Did you hit my breakpoint? I'm just going to refresh. I don't know what happened then. Sometimes that happens. The breakpoints just lose themselves. There you go. All right. Okay. Oh, alright. I've just noticed also I'm having streaming issues. I do apologize, everyone. Yeah, YouTube's just telling me. So, I don't know what it is about this one particular line. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove it. And then we've got data results. So if I go down here, data results equals data results dot filter. I've got title on contains search down here. I've also haven't checked what search is. That is something I should actually check out. So I'm just going to put it down here just for the moment. It might be easier to see the data get transformed down here. We're just going to refresh. We're just going to hit this once, and then I've got to call it because it's nearly 10 past 10. I've got to start, winding down for the night. Anyway, so we've got data results. We've got the search. That's why. All right, cool. It was something silly all along. The search is for just four little dashes. Anyway, let's go find someone to raid. And Ginny. Oh, I used the wrong shortcut key. All right. Anyway. Oh, no. No, he's going to go. All right, cancel. All right, no, that's not a problem. Toggle bit. All right. If only I was like 5 minutes quicker. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming tonight. It has been wonderful. Yeah, I think I can get this fixed pretty quickly, and then we've just got to get this whole thing done. So, yeah. Anyway, I do hope you enjoy Togglebit. All right, good night. And those on YouTube, I'm terribly sorry about the streaming condition at the moment, but don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help, and I hope to see you next time. So, yeah, thank you.